Now, you're watching Wave 3 News Listens Live.
And it is a celebration.
With your host, John Ramsey.
And welcome to Wave 3 Listens Live. Warm weather is on the way, and you're probably pretty excited about it. You want to get outside, play with the kiddos, maybe your grandchildren. You want those energy levels to be up. Maybe you have something on your bucket list that you'd like to do. Play a little golf. Let's do all of those things, courtesy of 25 again. With me now is Lisa Innenbach. She is my co-host. And,
yes.
And we have fun with this because you're making a positive difference in people's lives, like Susan Carl, who is with us now. Susan, we're going to get your story here in a minute, and it is a good one. And by the way, you keep smiling like that, we're going to do really well today. A beautiful smile.
Phones will be lighting up.
That's right, the phones will be lighting up. Okay, for those who have not seen 25 again, and if we sound like we've got a little adrenaline, if we sound positive, it's because you're doing positive things for people. And if people wonder, how have they grown so fast? Results.
It works.
Yeah, it works. There we go. Tell us a little bit about your company and how are you growing so fast?
Absolutely. We started in 2011. We were named Body Shapes Medical, if you don't remember. If you haven't heard of us, you probably live under a rock because it feels like we advertise everywhere. But 25 again, the name came because we realized you're giving your body back what you had when you were younger. So it's like doing maintenance on your body. You do maintenance on your house, you do maintenance on your car. If you don't, what happens? Those things will start to break down. Your body is no different. And some people are like, well, I don't need to lose weight, so I don't need to come see you. Don't get me wrong, weight loss is definitely something that you would need to come see us for. That's inflammation in the body. But that's not all we do. Just think about your age. When you're 35, your hormone levels are starting to go down. By the time you reach 40, you only have about half of what you have in some of your major hormones, and that's not healthy. You're probably going to see symptoms like lack of energy, your metabolism isn't working, you're doing all the same things that you used to do, and you just can't seem to get that weight off. You can't sleep at night, your mood's bad, you might have hot flashes. Both men and women, believe it or not, can have hot flashes. And so my thing is, think about your goals in life. What do you want to do? Do you want to lose weight to look better for your partner, or maybe you're on the dating scene? Do you want more energy so you can play with those kids or those grandkids? Do you want that brain fog to go away so you can perform better at work or maybe get that promotion? These are the type of things that you have to think about. And don't forget, when you age, that is when your hormones go down. No matter if you're exercising, you're eating right, you could be doing all the right things, and unfortunately, your levels are still going to go down. So that's when we come in and we replace them. We make them optimal. We give you back what you had when you were 25, and we do it very safely and effectively. And everybody's plan's just a little bit different. You wouldn't go to your plumber if you needed your electricity fixed, right? So you need to go to the expert, someone who really knows what they're doing.
All right, everyone's plan is a little bit different. Everyone's story is a little bit different, like Susan Carl, who is here. And Susan, I was reading your bio. I was doing my homework here, and yours is an interesting story. First of all, you're an open book. You're willing to talk about anything, yes, which I think is good. And so if you don't mind, with that being said, I want to preface that so people know I'm not being rude here. It's almost hard to believe. It's the wow factor. How old are you, Susan?
I'm 70 years old.
Okay. Okay. Whatever you're doing, I want about 2 cups of whatever you're taking. Give it to me right now. You look great. Your energy levels are obviously very high. And from what I understand, you learned about this through your husband, correct?
Well, yeah, he came to 25 again first before I did. But I had been studying on bioidentical hormones from the time I started into menopause at 50. I'd read every book I could get my hands on and knew a lot about it. But then my husband, I'd seen Lisa on your show, and my husband was playing golf with a friend of his, and they were talking about testosterone replacement because he had been having it done at another doctor's office with pellets, and they weren't working for him. So his friend told him about 25 again, and he made an appointment, went in, loved it, and I think about a month later I went in and had my appointment. So we both, he was really, really happy with his results, as I was with his results.
Yeah, okay, we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. Stay tuned. But let's talk a little bit about your previous experience with hormone therapy, because I think that's important to talk about the way they do it at 25 again. So tell me a little about that, Susan.
I owned a business, and I was single, a single mom, when I first started into menopause. And my biggest concern was sleeping. I was not sleeping at night. I had this horrible brain fog. I couldn't make a decision. I couldn't keep up with things in my business. So I called my gynecologist and had an appointment with her and told her, and she put me on synthetic hormones, and it did help me for a bit, but she said, now you can't stay on these. You can only be on them about 6 months. Well, as soon as I got off of them, the same problems came back. So I found another doctor who had just started. She was an internist, and she had just started doing this integrative hormone therapy. And I went to her, but I never could get things adjusted. I didn't feel like I saw her enough. She didn't do blood tests. She did like saliva testing that she had to send off to a lab. And I just didn't feel like every time I'd go back in, I had the same symptoms exactly. You know, I'm moody, I'm still not sleeping, my libido still isn't good. When I started with 25 again, because they do the testing so often and you get to see someone so often, you feel like you finally get a handle on it.
There we go. I think it's good. You see, obviously, you're a person who likes to do the research. Education is key, especially when it comes to your body. So this is where it's nice to have you here, Lisa, because let's talk about that panel of blood work that you do. She said she didn't have a handle on it.
Right.
And that's important to you and to your members, right?
Yeah. We want to make sure everybody's safe. So we not only test the hormones, we test CBC, and I won't get too technical here on you, but to make sure that you're a good, healthy candidate. Not everybody is. There's not many contraindications, but sometimes we come across things and we have to get those things checked out. And it's not just the hormones. It could be something else. We can work collaboratively with other physicians and make sure. Sometimes we have to get medical clearance to make sure. So it's not just, oh yeah, we'll just take everybody and throw some hormones in them and it'll be fine. We again want to make sure that we do it safe. Bioidentical is the safest way to do hormones. It's matched molecule for what your body makes. What Susan was talking about, synthetic, is where the scare came from. Yes, they will put you on that. You'll feel amazing, and then they'll say, oh, sorry, I got to take you off of that. Sometimes they don't want to explain why. Well, the studies prove that it can cause cancer and other health-related issues if you stay on those for a very long time. I've been on hormones now for 7 years. Susan's been on Bioidentical for 20. It is safe and effective. It is actually disease preventative. My mom died of ovarian cancer in 2001 before I really knew much about hormones. And so I decided I wanted to look into preventative medicine for me and my family. There's diabetes on my husband's side. So these are the things that you need to do to prevent disease. And you know, a lot of people say, well, you guys don't take insurance. You know, it's expensive, but think about this. You're already you're paying your insurance, you're paying your doctor, even though you're not seeing him or her. Whenever you go, how long do you get with them? Maybe 5 to 7 minutes, statistics show. You get an hour with us. We get 3 pages of labs to begin with. We spend an hour with you. And then your follow-up appointments, we spend as much time as you ask for. It's not a 5 to 7 minute and, oh, your symptoms are this, you're just depressed, here you go, out the door. That's all they have time for. It's not their fault.
And I think it's important to point out, Susan, you mentioned something before when you and I were chatting a little bit, that old school line of thinking when your doctor says, well, it's just part of aging. And maybe in the past it was. Do you feel like you're 70 years old after 25 again, do you?
No, I don't, not at all. And I'm kind of a newlywed. We've been married 10 years, but...
oh, here comes the good stuff.
Are you ready for this?
Hold on. No. I tell you what, look, that's a good tease. Yeah, that's a good tease as we go into the break here. So more on Susan and her husband Jonathan's story when we come back here. And also we'll talk about how you can get involved with 25 again. Hey, you have a few lists, you know, a bucket list. We all have that. You want to be able to do these things. You want to do it with vitality. And we'll talk about how you can accomplish that with 25 again. We'll be back after the break.